The beach was quiet, bathed in the glow of a pale moonlight, and the waves lapped gently against the shore. But as midnight approached, the tides pulled back, revealing dark shapes shifting in the water, too many shapes, moving too fast. Alex, a marine biologist studying the strange behavior of local sea life, was there alone, trying to unravel why the fish had vanished from the coast for weeks. But what emerged from the water that night was far beyond anything Alex could have imagined. As the moon cast silver threads across the dark ocean, Alex felt the ground vibrate, a subtle hum pulsing from the depths beneath. The shapes, now visible as slick, massive forms, were no ordinary sharks. They bore bioluminescent lines along their bodies, glowing with an unnatural, eerie light, and their eyes held a flicker of something more than instinct. With a low, collective growl, they turned, lining up along the water's edge, as if summoned by a force deeper and darker than any predator's hunger. Suddenly, the sand around Alex softened, pulling him down, as if the beach itself had become sentient, responding to an ancient call. A chilling voice, more like a whisper in the mind than any sound, seeped from the water, echoing in Alex's head.
"You have disturbed the watchers of the deep."
The creatures surged forward, each one moving in perfect unison, forming a circle around him, while the sand below gave way, dragging him inch by inch toward the now roaring waves. In his final moment, Alex realized the ocean was no mere force of nature, it was alive. A vast, alien consciousness, and he had become its latest offering. A signal, traced back to a cold, uncharted trench in the ocean, had stirred something ancient. The creatures that surfaced weren't just sharks, they moved with eerie coordination, their eyes glowing with an unsettling intelligence. One by one, they emerged from the water, forming a perfect line along the shore, each gaze locked forward, as if awaiting a command. The air thickened, filled with a pungent mix of salt and an unsettling metallic odor, like rusted iron left to decay. Alex stood paralyzed, gripped by the feeling that he was witnessing the first act of an ancient ritual. Suddenly, a deep, rhythmic hum reverberated from beneath the sand, echoing through the bones in his body. The ground itself began to tremble, vibrating in time with the pulse. As the sand shifted under Alex's feet, swirling in spirals like tiny whirlpools. The creatures, sensing the rhythm, lowered their heads in unison, as if bowing to an unseen ruler. Their bodies began to glow faintly, illuminated by bioluminescent patterns that pulsed with the hum, forming strange, hypnotic symbols on their skin. It was then that Alex realized these weren't mere predators, they were emissaries, heralds of something far older, an intelligence from a time when the land itself was still young. As the hum intensified, the sky seemed to darken, clouds swirling as if drawn to the same rhythm. A massive shadow began to emerge in the distant waves, something far larger and darker than the creatures on the shore. The water bubbled and boiled as an immense form rose slowly, revealing tendrils of bioluminescent light spiraling from its core. Alex's mind was flooded with images, visions of primordial oceans, a civilization beneath the waves, and an ancient oath that had bound them to the ocean floor. And now, awakened by the signal, the entity rose, claiming the shore as its own. In that moment, Alex knew he was standing on the edge of a world not meant for human eyes. Before Alex could react, the beach transformed from a serene haven to a sinister prison. The shoreline, once open and inviting, sealed off as walls of water rose unnaturally high, trapping him in a shrinking ring of sand. Dark shadows surged closer, their shapes barely visible under the faint moonlight, but their intent unmistakable. Each shape bore rows of teeth that gleamed as they opened and closed rhythmically, an eerie symphony of gnashing filling the air. Alex's breath caught, and his instincts screamed for escape, but there was no way out. As the entity from the depths called to its followers, the sand beneath Alex's feet grew heavy and unstable, sinking him into its grasp with each passing second. The ground shuddered, vibrating in a rhythm that seemed to speak in some ancient, primal language. The sound resonated through his bones, filling him with an alien dread. The shadows moved with deliberate precision, tightening their circle, eyes gleaming with an intelligence as old as the sea itself. Their mouths opened wide, a sickly light emanating from within, as if each creature held a fragment of the deep ocean's wrath. Just as Alex's last hope drained away, he looked to the sky, but even it seemed to turn against him. Dark clouds gathered, swirling faster and faster, mirroring the chaos below. Lightning flashed across the heavens, illuminating the monstrous form rising from the depths, a being of titanic proportions, covered in bioluminescent symbols that glowed with an unholy light. With a voice that seemed to echo from the depths of time itself, it roared, filling Alex's mind with visions of an ancient sea that knew no boundaries, no land, no intruders. The ocean had come alive, and as its tendrils reached out from the shore, Alex knew it had returned to reclaim all that was stolen from its domain.